Hey, Goben here. It's Zhu Yuan time. She has the highest personal burst damage in the game right now, even beating Ellen, at the trade-off of a weaker on-field presence due to her kit and shot shell management. Today I'll be going through Zhu Yuan's kit, all of her combos I could find that are useful, and then I'll show you all my calculations for her best build, with Wenjins and disk drives. I'll discuss teams at the end because she is probably the most flexible DPS in terms of teams thanks to her new additional ability. So like and sub and share if this helps, and let's begin. Zhu Yuan is an Ether Element attack type character, so our very first Ether DPS. She has the second highest base attack in the game at 919, just under Ellen, and her Ascension stat will be crit damage, allowing her to start off with a base 78.8% rather than 50% at max level. For skill priority, level her basics first, followed by chain, then skill, then assist and dodge. Onto unique UI elements. In the top left, you'll see a total of 9 enhanced shot shell slots. Zhu Yuan will be generating these through various means, and then using them to deal a ton of damage. Think of it a bit like Ellen's flash freezes. She can generate and use much more of these in a short amount of time though, and she has a lot of ways to generate these enhanced shot shells. You'll use these to enhance her basic combo and dash attack, gaining access to some hard-hitting ether blasts. So Zhu Yuan's standard basic attack string, Assault Mode, is composed of 5 attacks. But in fact there is a hidden 6th attack where she slides after her basic 4 and 5. This doesn't show up anywhere in game as far as I can see as an extra multiplier, and it doesn't count as a dash attack as that also doesn't have the same multiplier as this. We also know it's not basic 4 or 5 because it doesn't generate a shot shell. But anyway, consider it as a special extra basic attack 6. After performing a full basic attack string, you will skip the first 2 basics on your next basic rotation. So you can basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if you continue using her basics, it will skip straight to basics 3, 4, 5, 6. So our first combo is 6 basics, then 4 basics. Her 4th and 5th basic attack in the string will be giving her 1 shot shell each, so this combo generates 4 shot shells for us. Since the 6th basic is kinda a DPS loss, we can remove the last one and shorten our combo to 6 basics and then 3 basics. She has a normal dash attack like every other character, and then a new dash attack that can be weaved into her basic strings, which you can only activate a certain way. These dash attacks can be triggered by inputting left or right on your movement keys, then your basic attack key, only after using a basic attack. You cannot forward or backwards dash during her basic string, so remember, left or right. Weaving these into her basic combo will change how her combo performs, but you can only do it by inputting left or right during her basic attack mashing. You cannot do the same thing by pressing your dodge then basic attack buttons like a regular dash attack. These are two different things. So this dash attack can change how her basic string works, depending on when you use it. If you basic 1, then weave in the dash attack, then basic, you skip the basic 2 and go to 3. This provides a DPS gain at the trade-off of some energy. Basic 2 into dash attack only adds a dash attack and does not skip basic 3, so this is pointless to use other than dodging. Basic 3 and dash attack will repeat her basic 3 on her next basic, and this will keep looping. I would avoid doing this as you really want to get to her basics 4 and 5. Basic 4 plus dash attack has no benefit like basic 2. Basic 5 and dash replaces the weird slide basic 6, and you actually want to do this to change to her second basic rotation as it's much faster. So taking all of these things into consideration, our new on-field combo is basic 1, sidewards dash attack, or basic 2, basic 3, 4, 5, sidewards dash attack, basic 3, 4, 5, then swap or stop. When inputting these movement keys during her basic attacks, she can in fact dodge attacks too, which is really cool. It's just like a dodge would. So you won't have to cancel her combos as long as you're a pro and can time her weaving dashes. Now let's move on to her enhanced basic string, Suppressive mode. These will be consuming the shot shells in the top left, but first, how do we gain all of these? Firstly, normal basics 4 and 5 generate 1 each as we saw before. Her EX special will also generate enhanced shot shells, this time generating 3. A dodge counter will generate 1. A quick assist, so coming in after a support EX or chain, will generate 1 enhanced shot shell. An assist follow-up generates a whopping 3. You get these from swapping into Zhu Yuan just before an attack hits an ally and then inputting a basic attack. Finally, her chain attack and ultimate will also generate 3 enhanced shot shells. So consuming these lets us upgrade our basic attack string into suppressive mode. This must first be activated by holding her basic attack key and then continuously holding it. This will do a cool side backflip, and then she will enter the suppressive mode and start using enhanced shot shells. Upon using certain abilities and then holding basic, she can enter this mode without backflipping, allowing you to skip the no damage animation for some DPS gain. Two core abilities that can do this are her EX and ultimate. So after the EX or ult, you can hold the basics directly, skip the backflip, and go straight to suppressive mode. Her enhanced string consists of 3 enhanced basics. Basics 1 and 2 do the same damage, and each will consume 1 shot shell. Basic 3 consumes 3, but does triple the damage. Now, since you're holding your basic key, you can't do dash attacks like her normal string can. Instead, to dash attack with her enhanced combo, you'll need to just input a directional key, but still hold on to the basic key. You want to input this during the animation of the previous attack. Unlike the normal basic string, you can forward, backwards, and side dash attack during the enhanced string. Side dash is good for dodging and weaving into her basic string. Backdash gives you some distance from a scary boss, and forward dash gets you closer to said scary boss. I recommend only really using side dashes because again, these can be used to alter her combo. But if you don't know, ranged units have damage fall off the further you are, so getting close is necessary for top damage. So these enhanced dash attacks consume enhanced shot shells too, and they have the same multiplier as her enhanced basic 1 and 2, so it's fine to use them. Let's see how her side dashes can change her enhanced string this time. Charge basic 1 into side dash skips charge basic 2 and goes straight to 3. This is a DPS loss, but if you need to dodge, it's essential to use this. Charge basic 2 into side dash lets you weave in a dash attack but doesn't skip anything. Charge basic 3, however, into side dash skips past the next 2 charge basics straight back to charge basic 3, which is very powerful for a burst combo. So her normal enhanced basic combo is hold basic until she shoots 3 different times for 5 shots total. This consumes 5 shot shells, but she has a maximum of 9. Another string would go to 10, and it isn't very fast to do twice. We will alter this in our favor using dashes, as sidewards dashes can be weaved into her combo. So her best combo with 9 shot shells will be hold basic until her 3rd enhanced basic, with the possibility of replacing her 2nd hold basic with a dash attack. Then after this string, you have 4 enhanced shot shells left. Dash attacking after the 3rd enhanced basic consumes 1 and skips straight to enhanced basic 3 for the final 3 shot shells to be consumed in a fast amount of time. So our full burst combo now that we have our enhanced combo is: first, you need 2 enhanced shot shells before stunning a boss from a standard combo. Then, stun the boss, zhuyuan chain, support chain, quick assist into zhuyuan, EX special into hold basic until EBA 3, sideways dash, EBA 3. Then EX special into ultimate if you have it. If you don't have either, then just swap off. If you only used one of them, do EBA 1, 2, and then weave in any directional dash attack. If you use both of them, you can do EBA 1, 2, 3, and then that same dash attack. Basically, just dump all of your shot shells onto that stunned boss. Okay, as for her core passive, it will increase her damage during her enhanced basics and further increase them specifically if the enemy is stunned, which further reinforces this stunned burst playstyle she has. Her additional ability is insane and very flexible. A 30% 10-second crit rate buff for Zhu Yuan after using an EX special, chain, or ultimate. Considering weak enemies that get their daze bars one-tapped, she will have this buff up a lot, and during her burst rotation, it will be up the whole time. Amazing. Let's quickly check out Mindscapes, but first for her very long M1 as it's very strong. With her M1, Zhu Yuan will gain a quick reload effect after her chains or ults, giving her an instant 6 or 9 shot shells respectively after dropping to 0. This doesn't do anything for our burst rotation damage-wise since we are maximizing shot shell usage, but it's a lot of quality of life as you can now enter with no shot shells and still perform her maximum combo without needing her ultimate or EX. It also lets her do a very high damaging standard rotation one time after her burst combo, for the highest on-field, non-burst damage so far. But this is only once per burst combo, and after, she drops back to her weak on-field damage. If you can spam tons of her chains though, her on-field power becomes excellent versus trash. M2 gives interrupt quality of life as well as a damage percent buff, not vulnerability, to her enhanced basics and enhanced dash attacks. M4 is pretty insane with a 25% ether res ignore, during these same enhanced attacks. It's lots of damage. M6 is actually pretty weak in our simulations as she doesn't necessarily always consume 12 shot shells in between EXs, and this is only an 880% MV increase. The energy quality of life is good, but we didn't find a way to use it well. Onto builds, and we'll speedrun this too. Go for Chaotic Metal or Woodpecker Electro for best consistent damage. Considering she won't really be played on field, Chaotic Metal has the best potential, whilst also having a good secondary set to farm with it, unlike Woodpecker that has the bend set. Puffer Electro is also usable since she is all about that stun window damage wise and not about on-fielding as much, but you'd need to have good ultimate generation, so up to you. For your 2-piece, go whatever set you don't go as a main, so Chaotic if you went Woodpecker, Woodpecker if you went Chaotic, and Puffer 2-piece also works. For main stats, go for a crit rate 4th slot, ether damage percent 5th slot, and attack percent 6th slot. She has a lot of damage percent already, but the 5th slot still does not get beaten by pen or attack percent. On substats, prioritize crit and attack percent, aiming for a 70% crit rate cap as you don't want to overcap with her additional ability. For Wenjins, here is the full list, and I warned you on Twitter that her signature isn't as crazy as it seemed. She gets a ton of crit from her set and additional ability, and Nicole too if you count her. She also has a cap of 70% crit rate if you don't want to overcap. For damage, she's got a ton of it as well, and this damage percent doesn't apply to every attack anyway. So, she saturates in all 3 stats. Combat attack percent is what she is lacking and it's so strong. Combined with the fact that her kit is about basic attacking, it's no wonder that the Brimstone is just behind or even beating her signature. Remember though, this is considering an endgame crit ratio, so the worse your discs are, the better her signature is. Starlight Engine for the same reason is yet again the GOAT thanks to the combat attack percent, and Cannon Rotor and Street Superstar are left in the dust. For teams, she can conveniently use any support in the game or units from her faction, making her the most flexible DPS in the game on top of having the highest burst damage. Feels bad. This means we can steal any support stun combo so far in the game and just use it with her instead. So Nicole Ambi is a classic. Just remember Nicole's debuff uptime is very small, even considering the black hole duration. Also, Nicole's ether damage is not vulnerability, that is misinfo, it is just damage percent and therefore is pretty saturated. But altogether, this is a free-to-play friendly and strong team. Like on Sukaku works if you want to rip it away from your Ellen, but you miss out on all of those ice damage bonuses that make the ice team so incredible. Khalida Lucy is fantastic and allows for a very quick swap heavy playstyle, swapping into Lucy, to quick assist into Zhu Yuan, into Khalida parries, into chain attacks. Very fun and strong. It's also stronger than Nicole Ambi from some calculations until Nicole hits M6. For Bangboos, I would go for Rezona Boo into multiple enemies for some amazing quality of life with grouping, and then Devil Boo versus bosses as it hits like a truck in single target from what I have played. So let me know if you're pulling for Zhu Yuan and maybe her Wenjin. Like and sub and share if this helped. Thanks for watching and have a Guoba day.